In this exercise, I'm going to show you how to record a practical action. I'll also show you what to do if something goes wrong. Here I am still working inside musicalreview.ai, found inside the 30 actions folder. And I've created this new action, Save for Web PNG 8/64, and I'm still recording. Now, if you decided to stop recording at some point in time, which is just fine by clicking on that square stop button, then go ahead, if you're working along with me, and click on the Begin Recording button to begin recording once again. So that's all you have to do to reactivate that action and get it going. Now let's say I look at my illustration and I see that my text is selected and I don't really want to have my text selected. So I could go up to the Select menu and choose a deselect command, or it's perfectly acceptable to use keyboard shortcuts. Even the keyboard shortcuts I've given you. Illustrator will not record the shortcut. It'll record the command that the shortcut is playing. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to press Control-Shift-A, Command-Shift-A on the Mac to deselect the text. And now let's say in my peripheral vision, I notice that that operation just got recorded. So I just threw in a deselect all. Darn it. What do you do about it? Well, here's what you don't do. You don't go up to the Edit menu and choose the Undo command, even though that seems like the logical thing, especially because it says Undo Action Panel. So maybe it's going to undo the addition of the deselect all. If you choose that command, watch what happens. Don't do this with me. Please, just watch. You will go ahead and undo the creation of your action in the first place. That's funny. All right, so we don't want that. Go up to the Edit menu. If you did it along with me, just for, larfs, then in order to reestablish my action, I would go ahead and choose Redo Action Panel. And notice not only does it restore the action complete with deselect all, but I'm recording again. This is amazing. I've gone backward and forward in time. Here's the real solution. If you make a mistake and you record something you didn't mean to, then just go ahead and stop. And this goes for, by the way, if you meant to record something and Illustrator wasn't paying attention, which happens too, go ahead and stop the recording, then grab that step, in our case, throw it in the trash, and then start recording again. So that's all it takes. All right, now I'm going to go up because here's what I really want to record. I'm going to go up to the File menu and choose Save for Web and Devices. Again, I could use the keyboard shortcut, mash your fist S if I wanted to. And that's going to bring up this big Save for Web and Devices dialog box. Now, notice that the original image is 1.1 megabytes. And the JPEG version at high compression is going to be 113K. So that's a big savings, right? We lost 90% of the file size. We only have 10% of the file size left. But I think we can do better than that. And specifically, I'm interested in creating an action for Ping, after all. PNG 8-bit 64 colors. And I'll show you why, because if I zoom in on this text at the bottom of the illustration, you can see that it's kind of starting to fall apart because of those compression artifacts. And Ping, even though it's going to introduce some dithering, is going to better retain the integrity of that text. So I'm going to go ahead and switch from JPEG to Ping 8 right there. And then I'm going to switch down the colors too, because notice I only lost a little bit in file size. I went from 113K down to 107K. That's not enough of a savings. I'm going to go ahead and switch those colors down to 64. And we will introduce quite a bit of dithering, as you can see. And I've got the pattern set to diffusion, and the dither value is all the way up at 100%. And so that means that our gradients are going to suffer quite a bit, actually, but our text is going to look impeccable. And this is a text-heavy document, so I'd rather focus on that. And that's about all I'm going to do inside of this dialog box. Now I'm going to go ahead and click Save, but before I do, I want to show you something. I'm going to make this dialog box a little narrower so we can see the Actions panel in the background. Notice it hasn't recorded a darn thing. I've been spending a lot of time inside this dialog box. You could change as many settings back and forth if you want. All Illustrator's going to do is record your final settings. And again, it's not going to record the speed at which you work or any of that. So I'll go ahead and click Save. Notice it still has not recorded anything. I'll go ahead and find my 30 Actions folder there in the Exercise Files folder. And I'll go ahead and save the Ping file there and click the Save button. And that's the point at which it finally wakes up and says, hey, you did something. I'll go ahead and record it. Let's go ahead and stop, actually, because this is the end of this task. But if you twirl open this item here, you will see that it records every single setting that's available inside that dialog box. So whether you touched it or not, Illustrator went ahead and tracked it. It also goes ahead and tracks the location into which you save this file, which, as you'll see, is a little bit of a pain in the neck, but we'll come to that later. So that's how you record a practical action inside of Illustrator. In the next exercise, I'll show you how to play it back.